Hey guys, welcome to Nifty World. I'm Bex, and in today's video I'm taking you through a little whistle-stop tour of how to navigate your way around all of the tips and tools that you need to find those rare NFTs. Whether or not you're on the Ethereum, Cardano or Solana blockchains, I've got a tool for you, so stay tuned to that. Don't forget to like this video, and of course don't forget to subscribe and hit that all-important bell. But let's start by surfing a little bit of Opensea. Let's dive in. Okay, so the first place that we're going to start when we're looking for rare traits within an NFT is actually to go and look at the NFT you're interested in. So to go on Opensea or the relevant platform, it might be Nifty Gateway, might be Rarible, but for me, I think the most common place is Opensea at the moment. So I'm looking up the Fame Lady Squad. I am genuinely interested in purchasing an NFT from the Fame Lady Squad. So I thought it's a good place to showcase how to search for what rare traits are. Now, I've done a little bit of research prior to this, and for any of you who've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know kind of how to look at the filter system here and what is of interest for you when you're searching just via OpenSea. Now, what you can do as a very simple first and foremost thing to do is to click on the NFT you're interested in, which this one here, I'm not saying this is the one that I'm interested in. I'm just going to give you this as a bit of an example. This is currently sitting at 0.123 or 398 bucks. And if you go down into properties as your first section here, you can see what makes this particular NFT rare. And worth the price. So what you're wanting to do is check if the price that you're paying or the price that you're going to eventually sell this for is going to be worth it because you've got rare elements to it. So what we can see here is that there are a few key elements that are quite rare. So the clothes, only 4% out of the 8,888 different Fame Ladies have this black Roma that this NFT, this Fame Lady is wearing. The eyes are red, only 7% have this trait. The face upper has a flower on it, so only 3% have this trait. And the hair is lime Italy, which again, only 3% have this trait. So this is looking like a pretty good bet, to be honest. And at a relatively decent price. It's kind of sitting at the near enough the floor price for this. So there's some good things going on about this lady. One that I did want to have a look at, which is actually sitting at a very high price, I'm not going to be purchasing this, is number 2355. Okay. And this caught my eye because it is going for a whopping 47.69 Ethereum, which is nuts. So I thought, let's do some further investigating. So if you were going to pay for this, you'd be paying around $154,000 for this. And this is the price that has been set by the current owner, who is this person here. And for me, I kind of wanted to look at what the traits are. Obviously, the price history is going up and up and up, which is great. Let's have a look at some of the properties. So I think the big thing about this is there's very few elements that make this rare, but that kind of works in its favor in a way. So as you can see here, the eyes, there's only 7% have this trait. It's red laser. Only 1% has a balaclava, so you know that's a really rare trait. And only 0.92% have skin, which is called ice. So that's really interesting, and you can see why someone's obviously snapped this up and decided to put it on at such a high price. Whether or not it goes for that, we don't know. And, you know, I'm just going to put a little bit of a disclaimer out here, because when you're searching for NFTs, the only way, no matter how rare your NFT is, the only way that it's going to make you money in the future, potentially, is if the project itself does really well. So it's not just about having rare NFTs from any old project. You've got to kind of be all in and make sure that the whole thing holistically works. So Fame Lady Squad's got a great community, really engaged, which is why I'm starting to pique my interest on this. And I think that these are a really good call. But I just want to show you this one as an example, because number 2355, okay, I want to double check these traits and I want to see just how rare this is and whether or not it really is worth the money. So what we're going to do is go over to Rarity.tools to find the Fame Lady Squad, which is what I've got here. So Rarity.tools has over 250 NFTs. I think you have to pay about 2 Ethereum to be listed in this, but it gives that level of kudos to your NFT if you are listed for either a drop or if you are listed for to be found and to add the level of rarity so people can find out more information about this. So for me, what that indicates is that actually you have to be quite serious about your NFT in order to invest 2 Ethereum to pop it up on Rarity. So a really useful tool. So when you look up your projects, you'll find them here and you can see, look, there's all of the different ones that we have here. So Fame Lady Squad is the one I've been searching for, which is what we've got here. And what it will show you is what is ranked by the most rare ladies all the way through to the other 8,000 that are available. So what you can do is find out how rare your actual NFT is. So maybe you bought this at mint, you weren't sure what you were getting, but actually you landed something, you want to check how rare it is. This is a great place to do that. So as we can see, our lady 2355 is here. You can just go through this and obviously search all the way down and find your NFT and then go into the details for it. Or you can, if you're looking up something that's on Opensea, as I did, you can take the number, which is 2355, and up here, you can pop it into the ID section here. There's also a token element on when you're looking for your ladies on Opensea or your NFTs on Opensea, which gives you the number as well. But normally it's obvious in the title what number it is. So then you click look up and it will show you your NFT that you're interested in. It will show you the price on Opensea. It will show you the image of it. It will show you its rarity score. And again, it will give you the reason why it's particularly rare. So what we're showing here is your trait count. There are 5 traits in this. So out of 8,888, only 132 have this balaclava. That's super rare. Even less, which corresponds with what we saw on Opensea, has the skin, which is ice. Some other things, it's kind of, is relatively okay. Eyebrows, that's pretty standard. I think they've all pretty much got the same eyebrows. Red laser, only 594 have this red laser. And the fact that she's not wearing any clothes, again, only 500 or so have that trait. So all of these adding up means that it's got some good elements to it to show that it's pretty rare, which I think is really useful to know. And obviously, in terms of the rarity rank, it's sitting at number 3. So for this particular NFT, this is sitting really highly. So if you got this at mint, and I don't know if it is worth 47 ETH, I'm not sure that it is right now, but it might be in the future. At least right now, you know that its rarity rank is pretty high. So what you can do is you can reverse engineer how you look at things, okay? Because maybe you want to do things like snipe a good rare NFT when someone is advertising it on Opensea and doesn't really get how rare it is. So this could be a really clever thing to do. So you can go through this list, look at something that's ranking quite highly, and you can go through to see it on Opensea once you've checked all of its traits to see how rare it is. This one's got some quite few rare traits on it, and see if it's actually being sold. So there's obviously offers on this. It's not up for sale at the moment, but there are obviously offers that people are wanting to make, which suggest that at some point this might end up being something that is worth investing in the future. But right now, this seller ain't seller. Pipe Dream Defy is not selling. But at least you can look at both ways in which you can try and find what is rare in terms of your NFTs for Opensea and on the Ethereum blockchain, and what isn't. So what you don't want to do is go and find that yours sits all the way at page 186 and is super unrare and actually it's just you're paying through the roof for it. There sometimes can be the difference, if you do your research properly, between like 10 to 50 bucks, right? And the difference in terms of the rarity of those can be huge. So this is just a tool that makes things, I think, quite easy and quite useful to be able to kind of really do your extra bit of research when it comes to finding out the rarity of your NFT. So again, it's giving you all those things like your 7-day volume, your total volume, how many owners. That's always really important. If you've watched my other videos on doing your research before you buy any NFTs, you need to know that you need to have a good, decent number of wallet owners in comparison to how many are being sold. If it's a low number, then you know that markets potentially being manipulated. And, you know, what's also really good is to see what the average price is throughout this. So Rarity.tools, don't worry, I'm going to be popping this in the description for you. So please do not worry, you'll be able to click straight through to this. And I definitely advise you to look at this for not only just upcoming drops, but also continuously as you are looking for finding the right NFTs for you. Now, let's move on to the Solana and Cardano network. Okay, so if we move on to the Cardano blockchain, what we see here straight away is that things look a little bit more basic. Tokenref is one of the equivalents of Rarity.tools, but it's just not quite as developed, and that's fine. However, I have seen in the last month or so, this absolutely jump in terms of the information that it gives you and the way it displays it on screen, which is great. So this homepage, I would have liked to have seen, you know, collections, new drops, what to look forward to, all that stuff that you'd see on a good homepage, but it doesn't. It's very, very basic, but that's okay. It's still outlining what we want to see, which is a link through to a more developed page around the NFT that you're looking for. So let's take a look at Cryptodoggies as a good example. Now, these guys were released in April of this year. It's one of the first on the Cardano blockchain. So you might think from a historic point of view that these might be quite a good bet. And actually, by jumping on to Tokenref now, there's a huge change. In August, it didn't even have this. It just had a load of numbers and figures, which made it really user-friendly. But already they've updated it so you can actually see the imagery, which is so useful. So it opens up on a recently listed page here. You've got Find Your Cryptodoggie. So if you already own a Cryptodoggie, fantastic. You can pop it in here with the number and look up the rarity of it in its entirety. Or you can come and have a look at what they have, what has already just recently sold and what is up for sale. So it's kind of like a real estate sign here. You can see that stuff is up for sale, which is really useful. So these ones I'm going to just bypass and have a look down here at the recently sold and see why these have been selling and why someone has decided to choose this. And again, you know, I've talked about this before, but if you are basically post-mint looking at picking up an NFT and thinking, oh, I wonder if someone's got quite a rare trait NFT and they don't realize it, it's always useful to have this information here and to see what you can be looking for so you can keep an eye on it if you're looking to get that in the future. Because maybe they might sell it really cheap and you might get in with a real bargain. So we're going to look at Hippie Doggy 4500, which is a Series 2 doggy. So Series 1 had a release of, I think, 2,500. And Series 2 had a release of 5,050 doggies, okay? So if we look at this, I mean, he's cute anyway, so you might like the dog picture as it is. But what you want to be looking at is what makes it rare. And I think they've made this look really, really easy. So here you can see everything from the breed to the mouth, the eyes, the body, head, luck, everything else. And where it sits in the rarity scale, which overall is quite useful to have just as a general sort of thing to look at. And you can understand why this is sold for 88 ADA, where the one next to it, which has a rarity, overall rarity of 2,809 out of 550, is only selling for 15 ADA. So for anyone who doesn't know, ADA is the currency that you use on the Cardano blockchain. So here, what makes this particularly rare and sought after? Well, you can see it's got a 1.94% rarity when it comes to the breed, which means out of 5,050, there are only 98 that have the Shiba breed. So you know that's pretty rare. And then if you go down, you can also see other traits like the luck trait here. It's got 55, which means there's only 69 out of the 5,000 that have this trait. And also, let's have a look. The body top here, only 373 or 7.39% have this. So you know you're onto a pretty good winner with all of these traits here. And you just have to kind of sift through and see what rare traits you're looking for and what you think is going to sort of work in your favor. Now, the interesting thing that they do here, if I click this, is show you not only, if we go back, this is how rare it sits in the world of the second season or the second drop of these Cryptodoggies. But if I flip it, these are the all-time rarities. So you can do this in comparison to how it stands over time compared to all of the different drops. And obviously there's only been 2 drops at the moment. So it goes up a little bit in terms of the breed to 2.05%, but still very, very low in an overall number of 7,000 that have been made so far. And obviously this updates as it goes along. So then you can kind of go down and you can see, again, the luck token sticks at about 0.98%. So that's kind of rare. And the body top, again, only 5.2% of these have it. So for me, this is really useful to find. And I think they've started to make this really, really sort of user-friendly. So if we then look at the Explorer page, you can kind of break this down to, you know, whatever you are particularly looking for, and it will find the ones for you. So let's have a look and see, you know, maybe we're looking for something that wears sharp glasses. If I click that, wow, there's so many different traits. And click search, you'll be able to hopefully find items that have the sharp glasses. So here are your NFTs with all of these traits. And then you can kind of break it down further and you can look for even more sort of rare traits. So if you know what you're looking for, you just click, 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 and then it should show up with what is available. You can also see, if I go back to the top, what's for sale and also the overall sales data as well, which I think is just going to be really useful for you to understand how good this particular NFT is doing. Now, I quite like the Cryptodoggies because, as I said before, they were one of the first on the Cardano network. So they are Cardano blockchain. So they are possibly having historic value. So it's worth spending some time and having a look at this. Now, okay, so Solana is very quickly coming up there as the next ecosystem and blockchain for you to get some NFTs on. So there's a lot more buzz about this, and you might be thinking to yourself, well, I'm on Solana Art, I'm finding NFTs, but where is my equivalent of Rarity.tools? Well, this is your equivalent. It's called howrare.is. I'm going to obviously tag this in the description. And this is a bit more sort of beta feel to it. It's not as up to date and as developed as Rarity.tools, but I'm pretty sure this will be in the future. So if you are watching this further down the line, I'm sure I've probably done an updated video, or I will be doing an updated video as this progresses, because I think it's good to see how these kind of sites change and develop over time. But quite simply, it's saying find out how rare your NFTs are, which is really useful because that's what we all want to know. Okay, so it's listing all of the collections on its site. Some of them you will recognize, kaiju cards, that's quite well known. Solana Doge, Soul Bears. So there's more and more of these Thugsbirds that are kind of, picking up speed, but there's not a huge amount on here really at this stage. It's still a very early move for the Solana blockchain. But let's have a look at Solana Doge. Keep this really simple for you. And you click onto it, and it does feel like Rarity.tools here. And I like that because then you kind of know how to navigate your way around it. So you can check out who the owners are of Solana Doge, which is their wallet addresses here, so you can kind of see all of their IDs. You know that there's how many holders there are, how many tokens there are in total, how many are currently on sale. So it's interesting to kind of go through that and just get some clarity, I think, when you're going through and looking for your NFTs on the Solana blockchain. Now, what I do think is really important, again, is consider this ranking as an experimental first draft. There's a very high chance that ranking will change after the ranking algorithm will be improved. So we know that we're really early with this particular blockchain, which is absolutely fine. And I think it's good that the creators of this and the coders have told us this information early. The main things for me is that we see imagery, and there was a time when we weren't even seeing images and we just had to kind of work things out a little bit backwards, but it's getting there. So you've got all of your different attributes here that you can have a look at and search for specifically. You can pop in your ID for your Solana Doge. And what I mean by ID is you could put in a particular number. So here, for instance, this one here that ranks at number 2 is 3272. You pop that in there, it will give you the rarity details for it. Now, if you're wanting to go through and you can check all 5,000 if you wanted to, you could try and find something that's particularly rare. Let's have a look at this one because I quite like his Joker's hat, number 331 that's on here. So gives you the image in bigger detail so you can see it. And it just gives you, I think, quite a simple rarity count here. So you've got your ranking overall, you've got the score overall as well. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not particularly rare. The attribute count is 5, so 6.68%. And these are the things that break it down. Now, if you look at even the Cardano network and of course, Rarity.tools, we have so much more information, but we're at the very, very early stages with Solana. So you have to kind of take what's given at the moment and see. And they've always got a caveat here. Considering this is an experimental first draft, use on your own risk, but enjoy. So look, we've got to take this as a basis for a growing network. If you're watching this as this video has come out recently, you're really early. So don't worry. These things are going to have trial and error and be checked and changed as we go along. But if you're watching it further down the line, I'm pretty sure I probably will have done a video which will have a more developed look at this network and how to find those rare tools. But this is helpful nonetheless because it can still break down some of those key things on the Solana network to make sure that you try and find the rarest NFT that you can. So for me, 1.5% of people of these doges that have the jester hat, that's quite a good punt on there. And then, not that you can really see it, but you kind of can. It has a sapphire necklace, which only 0.54% have. So for me, there's a couple of good traits in here, which mean that it might be quite rare. And it's sitting quite highly on the overall ranking score, which is at number 35. But obviously it's saying this is a first draft and this can all shift and change. So just go back. You can do this one way. If you've already bought one, you can obviously drop it in and see how rare yours is, or you can reverse engineer it, go through this, do your research, try and find which are the most rare ones and see if someone is selling them and not really realizing how much they're selling it for, and it might be an absolute bargain. So you might be able to go in and snipe that. There's lots of different ways to look at this, but I think as a starter for 10, this is quite a good little page to help you out. You can do all of your attributes here that you're looking for if you know what you're looking for, and even if you don't and you just want to kind of filter stuff through, really, really worth doing. It's very simple to use, and I think that makes things for beginners very easy. And of course, the thing that I use this for mostly is to look at what the upcoming drops are. And I have talked about this, I think, previously, but actually I just want to reiterate this again. If you are new to Solana, this is a really useful place to find out more about these different drops that are happening. It shows you the link to the website, the Discord, and also the Twitter. And for any network, whatever NFT you're looking to buy, and if you are new to NFTs in particular, Please do watch my other videos that are all around the research that you need to go through in order to find your NFTs before you part with any of your hard-earned crypto money. Crypto or fiat money. I don't want you guys to just rush into this because of FOMO. Like, do your research. You have time, even if you get stuff on the secondary market. Don't just put stuff down, to put your money down for stuff that you just because you want to be a part of it. Think a bit more strategically about it. This is not financial advice either. I'm not going to tell you which ones to buy or which ones to not. All I would say is that on my journey, the things that have worked for me is to make sure that I buy into the community. I understand when the drops are happening, if I'm going to buy at minting stage, and I even check the drops and the sentiment of the community on the Discord 5-10 minutes before the drop, because that can suddenly change. And I think it's really important that you look into that and make sure that it is a solid bet, because it doesn't matter how rare your NFT is if the community and if the NFT as a whole or the brand has no future. It's pointless. So do your research as a holistic piece of research, and then you'll be back in a much better position for when you actually do decide to buy your NFT. Well, there you have it. Your whistle-stop tour is complete. This has been quite a long video, so if you want to watch the breakdowns of this, do not worry. I've split this into 3 little videos for you, so you can go and check them out if you are checking out individual blockchains yourselves. But I hope you found it useful. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit that bell for some notifications, and of course, like the video and share it if you think other people will benefit from it. The more shares there are, the more content I can make for you. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Keep an eye out for all my other great videos to help you navigate your way through the NFT space, and I'll see you next time.